will. Hey everybody, welcome to Midnight Pumpkin. I'm Miss Kelly Sue with Cleopatra Art Studios, and sorry I'm a minute or two late because the smoke. We had to reset our monitors, or what do you call it? Modem? Router. The router. So we're just getting ready to get started. Boom. I'm going to pull you up real quick and then we're going to go. So this is a super fun pumpkin.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
There I am. You found me. Mr. John is handling the computer.
Oh, somebody help us all.
Good. Yeah, turn down. Go. Turn down the volume, man. I see the dog toy and a jar on the floor. We have a lot happening here today. We just got our laser up and running. That's why we look like this. I had to open a box. I had to use, what tools did I have to use today?
You used a crowbar and a hammer. And
when I was growing up, crowbars were this big. This one was this big, just saying. Okay.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
There's a joke in there.
Let it go.
Tonight we're doing Midnight Pumpkin. I'm going to do mine on just a piece of mixed media paper because I don't need one more copy of it. The paints you'll use: white, black, oranges of your choice, yellows of your choice. Okay, see, you can't quite see it all. Some green. I like raw sienna, which is kind of a non-metallic gold, but if you didn't have that, gold works too. Let's stick it over there. Some silver if you want. It's optional.
Oh, we're getting some hearts. We're getting a ton of hearts already.
I think someone's leaning on the heart. And then burnt sienna. Remember, if you have to leave, but you want to finish, it's okay. Mr. John, go ahead and put the link to the sign-up form, which gets you the video recording. When we're done, when we save it, we'll get the link to the video on YouTube, and then we'll send it to everyone that's on the list. I think there's like 75 people, so pretty good. So we also have, I don't have a paper plate today. I'm using cardboard and some water and a paper towel, Sharpie and a pencil and a piece of chalk. You're not going to use Sharpie. Okay, I got that all out. And don't forget to do this. Oh, we're backwards. That's why I hold that up for sure. Turn in, upside down.
No, that was perfect.
Now
nobody knows what you're saying. Well, now we're upside down.
No.
All right, there you go.
We're fixed. It's like in stereo. Mr. John's here. He will answer all your questions.
I'll add confusion to chaos.
Yeah. I just want to take a second and say thanks for joining us. This is just our way. I show you who I am through art. That's just kind of my connection. And if you get me, you hang around, you dwell, you hang, we chill, we're friends. And, you know, you kind of check out what we got. And if you don't like me, just keep on moving, you know. So hopefully you like what we have to offer. We've been doing this a very long time. Like I said, I'm in my scrubs today because
Gray.
I know, causing grays in Mr. John's beard, but we were unlocking our laser today, so we are going to be doing our, okay, I get so excited. Woo! So tell me a little bit about yourself. Whoop. Where are you from? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I forgot. I switched the video image. I know you don't want to waste time. You just want to get going. I hope you have your favorite beverage. So the very first thing we're going to do is find center on whatever it is you're painting on. So this Indiana. Holy cow, this is light for you. Past cocktail hour. I can't wait to see what that looks like.
California.
So I'm going to just put a very light plus, like a big plus. Yes, Sue, we're starting it right now. Is that a message? New post comment. Has it started? Okay.
I'm on it.
All right. So this way I know specifically if you're working and painting with a child tonight, where our spatial placement will be, where our composition will be. So if I ask a kid or even you to draw a pumpkin, you might make it really small and then he would look very lonely out there in the field. So we are going to stretch that pumpkin out, but still save room for the moon. So we're going to go ahead and draw this first. If that's all you want to do tonight, pack up your stuff, go ahead and wait for the video tutorial. Make sure you sign up for the link, and then you can finish at your leisure.
I did post the link.
Okay, so Mr. John posted the link. So it does ask for your email. I only send out one a week. If you don't want it, just unsubscribe right away. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Time to get started. I'm drawing with a Sharpie, so I will not be able to erase my lines, and it's only so that you can see a little bit better. Okay, so what I do for my pumpkin is I'm gonna, where are we at here? I'm looking at my pumpkin picture. My pumpkin is going to finish off just on the other side of my halfway plus. So it's halfway from the top, halfway from the bottom. And what I'm going to do is start with my first line, and it is a really tall, skinny U. So here we go. I'm going to be pretty close to that line. So I'm going to come up, whoop, maybe go a little bit wider. Really tall, skinny U. Keep in mind that my painting today will look different than the original just because I am painting and teaching off to the side, and it's fine, and I hope yours looks different too.
You got a North Carolina out there.
Woohoo! My cousin lives in North Carolina. Maybe it's my cousin Kim. All right, so I'm gonna start building my pumpkin. So I'm gonna put a dot. It's almost like it's a pickle with eyes right now on either side.
It's an angry pickle.
It's an angry pickle on either side of my upside down U. And I'm just going to do a curve up and down. So I'm drawing a really long backward C. Okay, that's our baby Basset. So you may see her here and here and here and here. She's going to remind us that dinner needs to happen. Swipe left to reveal comments. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other eyeball, the left eyeball, and we're going to go up and back in. So a really elongated regular C. Now you could be finished right there if you're like, hey, first time I drew a pumpkin, I'm kind of happy with that, then just stop. If you want to do a little bit more, we're going to just do kind of the same thing. Put little eyeballs at the top, and now I'm going to come out, and I'm going to start swinging in and hit the bottom with my segment there. If you wanted to do that. And then I'm also going to just do it again. Okay, Lula. So you could be happy. Maybe you're like, I really like this pumpkin. I don't want them any bigger, which I kind of think I'm pretty close to being there. Just fix that little segment there. Or if you want them bigger, go ahead. If you want them longer, go ahead. You're in charge of this. You are in charge. So I do have mine literally on the ground, but because I put grasses on it, it does look like he is not on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sunflower over here. You don't have to have a sunflower if you don't want to, but I'm going to start with just a circle. I'm just going to fill it in because otherwise those lines would get really distracting to you. And it's not completely a circle. I have them kind of elongated and squished a little bit.
We got a Covington.
Someone's in Covington. I probably know who you are. Oh, hey, Patty. Hey, Patty, how are you doing? Okay, Indiana. Wow.
I said that. Indiana, California.
I got distracted.
Carolina.
I get through the drawing and because, it takes a while to do the painting. So, all right, so now let's flip this over. Here we go. Now with the sunflower, if you're drawing with young kids, all you're going to do is do a rabbit ear. Kids have been doing rabbit ears for a really long time. And then I'm just going to work my way around. But what I do is I borrow the rabbit ear line. I don't leave a space. All the way around. Some of you guys are going to get really picky about what your flower is going to look like. But you know what? Nature is not perfect. And most likely you won't be tonight either. It'd be great if we could all sit down and first off is like Van Gogh. Woohoo. Okay, so I'm just going to do my For God's sake, would you feed that dog? Just go ahead and do my flower petal, my little sunflower. And if you want, you can stick a couple leaves in here. And sometimes I like to just write G for green or L for leaves because I forget and I start painting them all the same color. So a little later, I'm definitely going to put in my hills, but I do paint the background black. So I have a nice underpainting to give the grass a lot of depth. So remember, hey, Annette's watching. Hey, Annette, does that mean Lewis is right next to you? So give him a big squeeze for me if he is.
Wait, I didn't get that message.
It wasn't a message. I just popped up that she was watching.
No.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the stem. So I just know that I already have these natural little lumpy lumps here. That's not a very official term, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to come in from my last lumpy lump. I'm going to come down, just follow the top of the terrain. And it's important to kind of stretch towards the top. You don't have to go all the way to the top. It doesn't have to be like, that's the Amazon of pumpkins. You want to get close. So I'm going to come in, go up, and around. I mean, this is a tall stem. And then I just come around the corner, and I don't try to come back and finish it. Oh my gosh, I'm listening to these comments. I would try not to come back because it doesn't look right to me because everyone has a dominant side. And so what I like to do is just come back and start the other way. So I'm going to swing in. Be mindful of how fat you want your stem. That's a pretty fat stem. I think we can all agree that's a pretty fat stem. Okay. Would you help her out? Thank you.
I'm sorry, who?
Somebody was just asking again. No, I don't worry about my loop-de-loop and my leaf right now. Because I'm going to be painting that black. It's just too hard. A lot of times when you have the kids draw the loop-de-loop, they actually bring the paint around it instead of just bringing that in later. So we're almost done drawing. Such a tall stem. Okay, so what I'll probably do to offset it is I'm going to bring it down a little bit, down the side of the pumpkin. Hey, baby, you want to go ahead and feed those dogs? Okay. You're helping that lady first. Okay, so I'm just going to do a curved line over here. If you guys have not met Tallulah, our baby basset, she's ferocious. And
She's a pain in the tail.
around dinner time, she's just...
Oh, okay.
Mr. John, move. Close the door. Move. Thank you. Woo. So I just like to use cardboard. I get a lot of deliveries because of all the art kits that we provide. So I get a lot of cardboard. I like to reuse it for both shipping and as a palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze my paint out on this. And what we're going to start with is we're going to start with black. And you're going to need enough for the background. We're going to use white, not a lot. And if you don't have raw sienna, which is kind of a funky, it's a funky yellow. It's made by mixing yellow and brown together. You could just use gold. And we're going to do that to use the base coat for the moon. And then oranges of your choice. So I've got this cad orange, very fancy term for, hey, it's just kind of a really dark orange. Cad comes in light, medium, and dark. It's just a fancy term. Cadmium. And then I just have some craft orange, which is almost fluorescent. Can you see how bright that is? So while Mr. John is feeding the beasts, I will be at the helm. Oh. What? Okay, perfect. And then we'll get the green in here too. So remember, if you have to walk away for any reason, make sure you grab that link and sign up to get the video tutorial sent to you. So the paintbrushes I have for you tonight is, oh, I meant to grab the other one. I'll use this one. And I'll use this one. I have a 3/4 flat, which is just a 3/4 inch brush. It's flat on top and it's soft. It's really good for big spaces that you want to get done quickly. I have a round paintbrush. I would call it medium, probably a 6 or a 7 or an 8. I don't think it has an 8 on it. I call it the size of our pencil. Then a round detail brush that would use for like the whoop-de-woos. So if you guys, we are very interactive as a paint studio. So if you have any questions, just shout it out. Let me know if you have any questions and we'll get on to answering them. So I want to go ahead and get started on the pumpkin and the stem, and then I'll do the background, which is black. And then I use glitter and glue, like a clear glue, in order to get kind of like that sparkly look that you see. All right, so for the pumpkin, I'm just gonna start with a basic orange color. So I'm gonna hedge my bets, and I'm gonna mix my CAD and my Anita orange. It's just orange. Anita did not, she used all her good juju coming up with the paint colors. She did not use any creativity naming her paint colors at all. Okay, so if you need to adjust, oh, and I should show you this really quick. So if you wanted other colors, you can totally do it. So this is from a painting of the month from last year, like a blue, a white, kind of a silvery gray, and a green pumpkin, super gorgeous. I also have, these ones are bronze, gold, and blue. Again, super gorgeous. And this one's just plain old orange, which is kind of what I was going for tonight. So again, super gorgeous. Pick your color. I'm going with orange. I'm doing a very traditional, hold on, pumpkin. And what's most important is that you do brush strokes the same direction as that segment would be. So I'm just going to pick up my paint and I'm going to just apply it up and down. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Get some paint, get in there. One segment at a time. A lot of times what I like to do is when the paint is wet, I like to bring in some other colors and let them mix. So this is called wet on wet painting. That wasn't hard at all. You can even try, remember that raw sienna or that gold? Now, if you hang out in that area and brush and brush and brush, your colors will mix. Let's see, I got a big pumpkin here. Let me pull this out. So he's got a lot happening, and that's because we used wet on wet and we didn't over mix. That's kind of how I like to paint. If you're thinking that sucks, go ahead and just keep mixing your paints. So I'm just going to move to the next cell. Same colors. I'm going to outline. And I reload frequently. And I'm still painting in the direction of the segment of that pumpkin. So up and down. Maybe curvy towards the side. Oh, take a breath. Take a breath. How cool is that? When you're ready, pick up some other colors, yellows, maybe a little white if you wanted to. That funky burnt sienna. Oh, sorry, raw sienna. Has anybody seen that meme? It reads, why can't anybody cook sienna properly? Because there's burnt and there's, yeah, I guess you have to be an art person.
Wow.
I know, right? I loved it so much. All right, so I'm just moving around. I'm just going to be really careful. My petals, I don't want to cover them with orange. I want them to be a completely different hue or color than the pumpkin. you're just going to keep wrapping around. And if your kid is getting fidgety, have them finger paint this. This looks great, finger painted.
Oh, we get a big old thumbs up on that idea.
Okay. If they're getting all fidgety, yep, get them in there. Little DNA. All right, if you just join in, let us know where you're coming from, what you're doing tonight. Maybe it's cocktail hour. I'm using mixed media paper. It's Canson brand. What I love about it is I can do 60 projects. I guess this is the end of the book. 60 projects. I can keep them all in one spot. So perfect if you're thinking, gosh, if I had to paint one more canvas, I don't know where to put it, but I still want to create. The mixed media books are great. Hey, Kath. Gonna have dinner, then I'll see you later. Okay, so I'm gonna do my last one. Remember what I said? Be careful of your petals. Just painting them up and down. And if you're a little behind, it's okay. You're gonna get caught up. We're gonna hit like a lull, but you'll be still painting like a mad squirrel.
That's the most beautiful pumpkin I've ever seen.
Aw. Did you not see the other ones I showed you?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest stem in the world. But, you know, honestly, when I go to a pumpkin patch, what do I look for, babe?
Big stems.
Big stems. There's nothing. They always fall off. I don't like that at all. If you had some copper or some gold, that would just be like awesome. But I didn't want to assume that everyone had those colors, and I didn't want you to go broke showing up for free night tonight. All right, so I'm going to let that dry. We're going to come back later. We're going to add some of the segment colors and then some more highlights and lowlights, kind of like a great day at the spa. And I'm going to start working on my stem.
It's a pumpkin spa day.
It's a pumpkin spa day, yes. I love that. So one thing to keep in mind, if you're going to keep to the whole theme of it's a midnight pumpkin and your sky is going to be black, then you don't want to go too dark on your stem. But my green is a little bit yuck today, so I'm going to it's a little bit too light. Let's talk about adjusting. You can add some brown to your green.
Yeah.
You can.
need to add some brown.
I'm gonna add some brown. You can make your own green with dark blue and yellow. And if you're using craft glue, it doesn't always mix the same way as artists. Did I say glue?
Yeah.
If you're using craft paint, excuse me.
I heard glue.
I heard glue too.
Glue.
It
No,
doesn't
glue.
always
Not
mix
glue.
the same way as artist paint because it's been formulated. So that's why I'm getting kind of a funky color because my brown is a craft. It's a deco art.
Decor.
I am just using acrylics. If you had really young ones, you could just draw this and give them watercolors, Kool-Aid, watered down Kool-Aid. This is going to be my first coat.
Stains more than lips and fingers?
Yes. Yes, it does.
I didn't know that.
Sharpies. You can just kind of go to town with your kids. That's my first coat on my stem. I'm okay with it.
It doesn't look out of place.
Okay. It looks like he's getting a little skinny there. I think I need to chub him up. Chubby. Chubby.
He went on a diet right in the middle.
Right in the middle. It doesn't work. Don't go on a diet. Thanksgiving. Ever. I mean, I like it Thanksgiving. I guess ever. Ever, never. Great. Is that Lou I hear? You're so mean. You locked her away. You're going to take a minute and finish up. Give me a thumbs up if you are caught up. Maybe you're just watching today. Thumbs up or heart, let me know that you're all caught up, ready to move on. And I'll wait a second. Because I know some of you jumped in late. Just because, yeah, you got to feed the basset. or whatever else you had to do. She's going to bark all night. All night.
I'm looking for a heart or a thumb.
Ta-da!
That'll get her. Somebody give me some love.
I'm going to go ahead and work on my moon. Now, you, of course, can paint your moon very traditionally, bluish or silver or gray. What I did was I did a really light golden yellow, and then I bounced on some silver later on. So I'm going to take my raw sienna, which is a non-metallic gold, basically. It's not shiny at all. And I'm just going to put in the base coat. So you're looking for a beachy color. I feel like mine could be a little lighter. And you're just going to do the underpainting. You're just going to get in there. Try not to be thick. If you're painting with the new kids, tell them not to be obnoxious with their paint. Just kind of thin it down. We can always put another layer on.
One and done.
One and done is not at all what we're doing.
Oh.
We're getting it in there. So painting, if you're new to painting, if you're just joining us tonight and you've never done this before, maybe you're watching, maybe you're intimidated, painting is just a system of layers. Van Gogh had more layers than we have tonight. Monet had a lot more layers than we had tonight. So
Shrek talks about layers.
Shrek talks about layers.
Everybody loves cake.
Everybody loves cake. That's true. If you feel like your moon is too yellow, you can add just a drop of brown and white to it to kind of, dull it down a little bit. Remember, I'm going to come over top with some silver and white later on. So you could clean your paintbrush out if you wanted to. Make sure you get all the water out. I'm a little on the lazy side, so I just wipe it. And I'm going to go into the colors for my sunflower. Now, I pulled out yellow from Anita's, but I really like deep yellow, which is what I think I wrote down that you should probably have. And it's just a deep yellow, all the yellows are very transparent. They're kind of they make you work for it. They really make you work for it. So I'm going to go ahead and load my paintbrush pretty good. If you're painting with the kids, have them outline the shape first and then fill it in. You can come back later and put another coat on if you want. So outlining, fill it in. Just have them work on not being too gloopy first time out. And I feel like sunflowers work, they grow in different colors. So you can just do any color you wanted to. A blue would be really pretty. I don't know, have you ever seen a blue sunflower? Now, because my Sharpie line, which I use Sharpie so you guys could see, is showing, I'm going to just bring in a little white on this coat. Jeez, anybody else want to bark? That sounds like a delivery. What do? You got to have they know ya. They know that you got to have their stuff. Okay, I'm picking a little white up this time for this petal. And what I like to do, because when I come around with the black, that shape's going to shrink a bit. So I like to just make the petals, kind of stretch them out a little bit. Seriously, that was no reason to ring the doorbell. The garage doors are up. We're home. We gotta live out in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna clean my paintbrush off. Dry it up. can check out the progress, see what's happening. I'm gonna pick up whatever green color you want for my back leaves. This is where I tucked them this time. So I didn't think we could fit this painting in an hour and a half like we do a lot of our paintings. So we do a free painting pretty regularly during the school year and not as much during the summer. But I felt like, oh, I might be rushing you too fast. So I made this one a 2-hour class. Hey guys, nice. I'm so glad you're watching. How are the kids? So for the next step, we're gonna start with the black. Black is available in all different grades. So what you might have to do, so if I was in the studio, I would offer, and I wanted to get the black done in one coat, I would offer it in the golden fluid acrylics, carbon black. And here comes the trade, woohoo! And they have to be up here. If you find that you're painting with your black and it's too sheer, just plan on giving your background a second coat. If your black looks like gray, it means you left too much water in your paintbrush. Bye, guys.
Sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, he's still sitting on his butt. Okay, so we're going to outline. So we have a pretty, I don't know what to call it. Hilarious marriage. We've been married 28 years. We just call it how it is. Mr. John helps out with so much of our business. I'm just outlining everything. And I'm going to be really careful. I am using my round brush because the bristles are tapered. It allows you to go around corners really easy. Are we doing good? Okay.
I don't think I missed anybody yet.
Okay, perfect. I know most people end up watching on the replay anyway. I said we have like 75 people wanting the video, so.
Kathy loves our basset hound. You want her?
No! I waited a whole year and something for her because we lost ours unexpectedly in COVID, and you couldn't just go pick up a stray basset somewhere. You had to get on a wait list for a really expensive. So this is what an expensive basset's like. The free bassets are better. Okay. No, I'm just joking. I love her. So you may, if you're not, if you don't have a lot of experience painting, you may have to switch to a smaller paintbrush to get in between these layers of leaves. Really, you're egging her on? So, my mom actually adopted Tallulah's sister, and her name is Kat. So we have Kat and Lou. John, that's getting loud.
Sorry.
That's not the dog's fault.
I had him fight her out.
Yep, stats didn't work.
Okay, I'll take her outside.
What's more important is your oldest or your middle child's supposed to be making pizza for dinner. I don't smell pizza. Hello. I'm kind of a mean parent. I make everyone, if you're staying here at the house for free, you have to make a meal one night a week. So now that I've outlined, I can just put my paintbrush down. I just put it on the top of my water bucket because I'm not going to be long. And I'm going to take my 3/4 flat. Now, if yours is a new 3/4 flat or you haven't used it yet, because we're going into black, it's going to stain your bristles a lot. So I like to get my paintbrush wet and then really get it dry. So if you're working with a kid, have them squeeze the bristles, because if the water's running down, they did not squeeze that enough. So don't have them learn to do this, just long squeezy brushes, and it'd work. And then you want to fully load your paintbrush. So I'm going to plop it this direction, flip it over, plop it a couple times, and then just start painting. Now the weird thing about black is it looks like you got it everywhere. And then when the paint dries, it shrinks quite a bit, like 33%. And then when the paint pulls apart from the other molecules, you're left with little white areas, like a little tiny white fabric areas if you're using a canvas tonight. Words, some days words just don't come, you know. But if you're using paper, if you're doing this on wood, this would be really pretty on wood, like a tall wood piece that you could put by your front door. You're not going to have that same problem as you would on canvas, but you might have to touch up your black. So I'm dipping regularly. Every time I come back to my paint, I just flip and flop the paint a little bit on my paintbrush. And because we designed this for family night 2 years ago, we had family night. I think you paid $10 and you got 2 designs. And we knew people were painting with their kids, and kids might not do great. You know, they get bored. They might not do a great job in the background, and they certainly didn't want to do it twice. We came up with covering up the night sky with some glitter and glue, either clear or silver, to kind of mimic the night sky. Not quite a galaxy, but you can tiptoe all you want, but we can still watch you walk by. Kind of funny.
Let's see if that works.
I hear them. They're coming. Yeah. They just want to be where we are. So you just plan on maybe checking this out, drying this at the blow dryer if you're working on a canvas, and probably going to have to change your water bucket because black is just super powerful. Hey, babe, do you want to get me a new water bucket?
Yes, ma'am.
While we're waiting for everyone to get caught up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm painting on paper. It dries pretty quick, so you might still be working on the background. I'm just going to sit here and let my man take care of me. Into my water bucket. And I'll chit-chat to you guys. Hey, Bev. Thanks for watching. You've been on a lot this week. We've been filming a lot of live videos this week, and it's just because once school starts, we're back to 2, 3, 4 videos a week. It's during the school year. Ooh. We have all the art camps and stuff. It's hard to get down to paint with you guys, and I missed y'all. Just having plain old water. Thanks, babe. I'll put it here. You're left-handed. Lefties.
Water looks cloudy in the water.
That just means that, you know, all the black juices didn't get washed out.
They're rinsed.
So how are you guys doing? Are you keeping up?
Well, that's better.
So if you're just stopping in, don't forget to do this for me. That'd be great. That helps spread the word, sprinkle the love. All right, so the black is drying. I'm gonna go ahead and work a little bit more here in a second. I didn't want to bring my blow dryer out. It's loud and I don't need it. I'm gonna bring out some, oh, I have burnt sienna. I'm gonna bring out some gold. I'm gonna work in my pumpkin for a little bit, and I'm gonna work in the center segments, hoping that my black dries. So I'm gonna go right back to my round paintbrush, the one that's the size of a pencil. No problem, Kathy, help yourself. You can either just get it here or you can sign up to get the video link. All right, so, and you can just share that again so that people can see the video link if they're just popping on, babe.
Yep.
Okay, so let me get a little bit more. So this orange is pretty orangey. It was not an official term. Okay, I'm gonna double load, and what that means is a very fancy term for I dipped in more than one color at a time. I dipped in the bright yellow and the orange at one time. Just gonna do some brush strokes down, working with our segment. And then be careful with your orange. It's hard because orange, yellow, just oranges and yellows really. In the summer, they get clumpy and they kind of smell a little bit right before they turn. It's really hard. We send out a lot of our kits and we try really, really hard. You can go in the backyard. They can try really, really hard to always have fresh paint, but it's just, they just don't like getting hot. In fact, your paints can handle getting cold more than they can handle getting hot. I'm not over mixing, trying really hard not to over mix. So I have this underpainting and then I'm just painting on top of it with loose brush strokes. So Lou is she's getting kicked out. You're getting kicked out, Lou. Have a little grace for the shape of my pumpkin because I am painting to the side. And so I've painted 2 segments, and what you can do is if you're looking for a little bit more intensity, you can pick up a little bit of that burnt sienna, just a little bit, put it on that wet paint and it blends in a little bit. And I mainly just put that at the bottom. It's gonna blend wet on wet. So if you are brand new to painting, you cannot blend colors if one is wet and one is dry. They both have to be wet, both of them. I don't want to go too high. You have to think about, oh, where is this pumpkin going to be shaded at? Maybe on the sides, at the bottoms for sure. And if you get it in the wrong spot, just wipe it off. It's just paint, you guys. We got this. It's just paint. Remember, get your kids in there finger painting. Ta-da! If you want, you can put a little gold. If you have some gold, just keep in mind that the gold will not really show until it's dried and cured. Right now, it's just kind of just a shimmer, but when it dries, it's going to be very noticeable. While my segments are still wet, I like to take my skinny paintbrush and some brown, and mine is a burnt sienna. I don't have very much on my paintbrush, and I'm going to hit my segment right in between. Keep in mind, mine are still Sharpied, so I can see them very well. If this is too dark for you, simply go over the wet paint a little with orange, and it kind of blends in. Just go ahead and make your way to the next segment, filling it in with orange and yellow, up and down. Dipping frequently. Using little highlights, some lowlights at the bottom. Oh, that's pretty dark. I'm gonna blend it in. Blending. Commence the blend. So what'd you guys do today? Anybody do something great? Great and fun? I started work earlier than I normally would, and I still feel like I was behind all day. We're coming to you from Spokane, Washington, and we have a lot of smoke in the air. If you're watching from California, definitely feel your pain with the heat and the fires. Don't forget to do your segments in brown. While your paint is wet, it helps it blend in. I just use my finger. Smear it. If you're totally not into that, just grab a wet wipe. My youngest is going to a football game tonight. Kind of excited, nervous for her all at once. Friday Night Lights, y'all. Put some gold in if you want. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that your pumpkin's going to have a little bit more light glare from the moon at the top. So I'm going to bring in some yellow at the top. You can bring in, if you're into the white, you can bring in a little white. You just gotta play with your pumpkin. Just keep playing with it. I wouldn't recommend you do white down below because, hello, the light source is behind the pumpkin, and so you wouldn't really see light on it. So I didn't go too low. So I'm just doing these curvy lines. I'm not pressing hard. The white is actually blending with the other colors, so it's not a real stark contrast. And I forgot to have you guys paint the center of your flower. So if you're ready, because I had Sharpied mine. If you're ready, just paint the color. Brown, dark brown and black maybe. So keep playing with your pumpkin. Now you can, if you feel like you're falling behind, the pumpkin's on the foreground, so you can always come back and add a little bit more love on that. And it would be completely okay. I'm going to add some more love on the stem. I'm going to, I don't love the color green I have. It was supposed to be hooker green. So keep mixing your colors till you're happy with the green that you have. Make sure your kids outline this space and then fill it in because they took the time to draw this pumpkin. If they just start painting, it's going to look like a monkey painted it. So have them outline their space and paint it. Maybe you're the monkey. Maybe this is your first time painting. I think we froze a little bit on my comments. Here we go. There we go. Getting them now. Let me know. Is anybody here? Is this your first night painting? I think pumpkins are perfect first painting or even a very, like a challenging painting because they are very abstract and you can, you don't have to be perfect with them. Let's put it that way. You don't have to be perfect with your pumpkins. If you had some copper, you could bring out some copper for your pumpkin, but like I said, I didn't want to assume or just use all of your money. Okay, so the bottom of where the stem meets the pumpkin, I deepened mine up a little bit. So I took a little black, just a little black, and a little green, and made myself a really dark green. And if you need to power down and grab a smaller paintbrush, go ahead and do that, guys. But I'm gonna just highlight, because it's more like a low light, just go over my segment there, my lumpy lumps, I guess is what I called them. I don't want it too black, but I want it shadowed a bit. Now, while your stem is wet, and if it dried already, throw some more paint on there. I like to do some highlighting, so I'm going to come in with some yellow and some white, maybe some brown. And if it's too much, we'll fix it. So I'm just brushing in there, just going for it. I don't have too much yellow on there. It's mixing with the green. And you might be a lot better at and it's just texture to make it look a little twisty. You might be a lot better at this than me. I have a lot of artist friends that can do texture a lot better. So then I'm going to bring my dark greenish black in here, do the same. I like wet on wet painting a little easier, I think, or a little bit better, sorry. Then if I let it dry and I dry brush, I just feel like it's easier. So I came in with some, just straight black, and I'm pretty much putting that halfway to the bottom because the light is here. It's shining this way. This side of my pumpkin stem is gonna be a little darker. Just giving them some twisties. And then I am gonna grab a little white, not a lot. Took a little, and then I just kind of brushed it off, and I'm just gonna put some highlights where the moon's gonna be touching it and kissing it a little bit. It's mixing, so it's not super contrasty. If that makes sense. Now, if your pumpkin's not dry, we'll come back to the leaves later. We're gonna let the pumpkin dry. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my leaves on my sunflower now, because I did forget last time. Hello. Give them a second coat. Cover up the G. Remember, I had to remind myself which ones were gonna be leaves, which ones were not gonna be part of the sunflower. It's been a long week. I know. It's a long week, guys. It's a long week. And when you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and give those petals another coat. When the petals are wet, we're gonna outline them with burnt sienna and our tiny paintbrush, so I keep it handy. So if you're a slower painter, I wouldn't paint every single petal because they dry and that wet on wet technique's not happening anymore. Instead, maybe just do 2. So I'm gonna come in with my deeper yellow. Just gonna do 2 with my medium round paintbrush. And then I'm gonna switch to my burnt sienna, which is my brown. It kind of looks like cinnamon. And I'm just going to basically outline my flower petal. It's going to mix with my yellow and do all the work for me. I also like to pull in those, they have an official name, but I don't know what they are. Veins, those little wrinkles right where the flower petals meet the center of your sunflower. We're just gonna keep working our way around. Don't worry, we're not done. We're just in that awkward phase. I'm gonna do 2 more. I feel like, too bad that Facebook doesn't allow us to play music. I was feeling like we need to listen to music when we're painting sunflowers. Painted 2 more. I'm gonna switch.
Sing to you.
If you're watching the replay, you're gonna sing to me? If you're watching the replay, go ahead and pause if you need to. The rest of us, we're on live. Just moving around. How you doing? Doing good? Okay, just bring that back a little bit. So all we're doing is one easy step at a time. And that's all painting is, my friends. I'm gonna add a little white to cover up my Sharpie. You guys are a very quiet group. We must have more adults than kids. You're not, Mr. John's very upset that you're not playing with him. All right, so I made my way all the way around. I'm going to clean my brushes and wait a second. See how you're doing, because, you know, we're doing good. We're cruising along. We're at the 1 hour mark. Clean your brushes, stretch a little bit, grab a little something to drink. I'm just drinking water, folks. For now. It is Friday. If you want, you can give your center another coat, that really dark brown. And honestly, as many layers as you want. While my center is wet, I like to dip in white and just do some white dots and some yellow dots. And so, she is relentless tonight. Just do a lot of dots is what I like to do. If I had teal, I'd put teal in, or even some green. If you are, what's the right word? If you're a little hasty, they may be like mixing. If that's the case, go ahead and let them dry. And then every time two lines meet, there's awkwardness. So the petals are meeting the center of the sunflower. It's really awkward. So what we do is we take our round paintbrush, the small detail brush, and black. I'm gonna come closer. Where the sunflower meets the center, I'm just going to press. So you have a little texture there. Can you guys see that? So it looks like seeds. I'm going to go all the way around. It makes the center a little bit bigger. I'm not pressing hard. I don't have a lot of paint on my paintbrush. I can get 4 or 5. It really makes it look super whimsical. If you have injury in your wrist and it's hard for you to turn your wrist, just turn your painting. Just make it easy on yourself. I have a lot better luck sticking my paintbrush on the outside of the flower than I do on the inside of the flower. Okay. That's my little trick there. If you want, you can put some black seeds on the inside too. While you guys are catching up, I'm going to fix my petal, my leaf, because I can see my G. So we're not done with those flowers. We're going to come back and give them some highlights a little later on. Hey Lisa, long time no see. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for watching for a few. I'm sure you're busy tonight. I feel like my, you can see my petal on the replay. I'm gonna go ahead and go a little darker on this side. So it's all about editing your work. So I don't agree with whoever said, I think it was, maybe it was Bob Ross, that there are no mistakes in art, because there are. You make mistakes, you put stuff where you don't want it. It's fine. It's a learning experience. Occasionally it's a happy mistake, but even kids appreciate when you tell them it's okay to make a mistake, because that's how you learn. We'll either take that opportunity and turn it into something else, or we'll cover it up, or maybe it adds value, which doesn't happen as often as you think. Occasionally it does. Okay, I did ask you to have a damp paper towel or a non-scented wet wipe. Okay, for the moon. I'm kind of not having a lot of space here. Let me do it here. I got my silver paint. I probably grabbed some white. So any more, we use Wet wipes or damp paper towel. So if you have a paper towel and you want to get it wet, wring out all the water. So clouds, shrubs, I'm gonna go this way. Clouds, shrubs, ghost, cemetery, steamy fog, and texture anymore. We used to always use sponges. And we really pretty much just use wet wipes anymore or a damp paper towel. So when I say damp, I mean it has hardly any moisture in it. So you're gonna wring that all out. I'm gonna come into my silver at first. So I'm gonna open it up, wrinkle it back up. And so here's the trick. You're going to add a little paint. So I dabbed into a little paint and I'm gonna dab off the extra. And I'm just gonna come in and you see it does our stamping for us, that texture. I know the light's hitting it kind of weird. You can't really see very much. And it's metallic, so you gotta wait for it to dry. And what's important is you don't keep the same pattern. Turn that wrist. Turn that wrist. Do a Jane Fonda. If you go out into the section, just cover that up. It's fine. It's fine. If it's too stampy, take some fresh white. If you want it to be a little bit more subtle, though that doesn't look bad, does it? I'm gonna grab some fresh white, but I loaded my paintbrush, and that's what I'm calling this, so I'm gonna bounce off the extra. Teachers, this is a great way to teach kids how to do clouds. I'm bouncing, I'm not painting, I'm bouncing. How to do clouds or little leaves, and they get it. Okay, what they don't get is taking off the extra, but this is fun, it's therapeutic, and you end up with some really cool, funky moons. So pretty simple. Like I said, if you want to go closer to the edge of the black, that's fine. You can either paint over it or not. That's fine too. But we're gonna do this little brush stroke around the moon also, just to kind of draw your eye up. So I don't feel like I have to wipe it off per se. Okay. Boom, chaka-laka-laka. I feel like we have to have a giveaway. Nobody's talking tonight. Are you guys doing it on purpose? All right, let's do a giveaway. We'll give away our Thankful Pumpkin Kit. Like, it'll hit the mail on Monday or Tuesday. Our Wood Thankful Pumpkin Kit. We'll send you some paints, send you the wood, send you the cutout, and a picture of what it looks like. And let's see, what should we ask people tonight? I guess if you want to be in the drawing for tonight, just type me. And then we'll put you, John has a little, hey Denise, how you doing? Denise moved to Florida? That is so exciting for you. I'm just super excited for you, and that's such a compliment that you like to paint with me. Find those paints. So type me if you want to win. We call it the Big Bertha Pumpkin. It's called Thankful Pumpkin. It's Big Bertha.
Oh, I got some me's coming now.
We got some me's. If you want this, it's beautiful. Drill a couple holes, hang it from your front door. This is Bertha, guys. It's Bertha. Okay, so write me. We'll do a giveaway at the end. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up this puppy. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my small paintbrush, and you can use a silver paint or white paint if you want. The kind of trick is to take a dot of water and thin it down a bit. And then, if it's thick on your paintbrush there on the ferrule, you're gonna clean that off. That's kind of the trick. I know. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do some lines around the moon. If you don't like this, maybe you're shaky, maybe it's just not something you feel adds value to the painting. You don't have to do this. It's just a little aura. It's pulling your vision towards the moon. I go a little longer I go further away. If you do it and you hate it, hey, it's okay. Let it dry, paint it black. You're good. It's good. If I have a little extra, I just stick it on my pumpkin stem. No wasted paint there. Okay, so now it's time to decide. No, let's do the grass first. But I want you to think about whether you want the glitter in the background or not. Remember, especially if you're a teacher, glitter is not the problem. You need to put it in. Glitter's not the problem.
Glitter's our friend.
You need to put it into a solution of clear glue and water, and then you can brush it where you want. You can still have that amazing fun of glitter, and it actually gets a little shinier because of the glue. And it's not going everywhere, and the janitor doesn't hate you. Or your husband if he's the janitor. But I do have to say that I need to specify, where did I put my glue? That it needs to be craft glue. Somebody recently just used Gorilla Super Glue.
We got some laughs over that. They know me.
Yep, they know who the janitor is. Okay, so here we go. So we're gonna work on the grass. So you're gonna find a paintbrush. This one's probably too small. And this one, as long as you don't press too hard, it's probably just fine. So grass is something you have to build up. You start from the back and go to the front. So if this is, if you have your chalk, let's just go ahead and put in a grass line. It's easier if it's just kind of wavy. Oh, whoops. I like to go down, sorry. I like to go down and cover up the bottom of the pumpkin a little bit. And I'll fill in these little areas here. I did take quite the dive there, didn't I? I'm looking at it on the camera. So I'm going a little low because I know my grasses will be higher. I will just start there. They'll be higher. And so they are a combination of the raw sienna, any of the yellows really, the burnt sienna. The siennas are coming to play, guys. The siennas and white and even black if you needed. And so it's just a process. I'm going to show you how to do it. I may not finish all of it right now because you don't necessarily need to see me do it all. But let me get some more burnt sienna or raw sienna. Whoops. So I have raw sienna. I'm going to go ahead and use my round paintbrush, the medium one. I'm not going to press hard because otherwise if I press hard, my grasses are going to be ginormous. I'm going to press light. They're going to be small. So if you can think of it, doing it in layers, I'll do 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. I'm not going to do really long grasses. I'm doing short, kind of straw-like is what I was thinking. You definitely need to double load. What do I mean by that? More than one color at a time. So the yellow, I'm going to do the white and the brown. I'm going to start a little below my line and pull up. And you're just going to have to do a lot of layers. So how many did I do? 2 or 3. And then I just moved on. If it's too white to your tasting, grab the yellow instead. Don't have to grab the white. So I pretty much do 1 whole line. Okay, that's a lot of brown. Okay. Your grass should be a little darker here anyway, because again, the light is behind the pumpkin. Well, I'm not going to get all hung up on that. I just want to have some fun art with you guys. We're picking up the yellows, maybe some brown, maybe some white. I'm pressing and pulling up, but I'm pulling up and I'm pulling back at the same time. And they can be, you know, like drunken grass. It can be all fallen over. Hey, Jody. Jody, if you want a chance to win the Thankful Big Bertha pumpkin, write me real quick.
Just say me.
Just say me. It's all about me. It's all about you. So we're just putting these grasses in there. Yeah, that doesn't happen on the big shows, does it? So they should be a little lighter on the top. Honestly, this could take you a really long time. So you can always come back and finish these later. But go ahead and do the first layer. Don't make the mistake of trying to do all of them with one dip of paint. You have paint. Paint's not that expensive. Go in, colors you want to use. Okay, a little bit more yellow. If the yellow you have is too bright, maybe you didn't pick up the golden yellow, just take your deep yellow, add a little bit of that cinnamon. We make our own raw sienna here. That's how we do it. Just always make sure you're dipping in more than one color at a time. After you do the top layer, you're gonna go down and do the next layer. Lucky us. This is where your kids kind of lose it. If they do lose it, it's okay. They can come back and do this. So that black's giving you a nice undercoat, underpainting. I'm just dipping in all the yellows now. I'm going for it. All the yellows, a little brown, a little white.
What are we calling the thing?
Grass?
No.
Oh,
Yeah. Write me if you want to be
thankful.
entered to win.
Oh, the thankful pumpkin, Big Bertha. We call her Big Bertha. The thankful pumpkin. Who doesn't love that? Okay. I need to get a big enough box. It might be Tuesday when it goes out. I think all I have for boxes right now are for the kids' art box. So just putting in those grasses. They're drunk. They're going every which way. And you know you're going to have to come back and give it some more love. So be really careful between your sunflower and the bottom. Whoop, I saw a comment come through.
Yeah, it's unrelated.
Oh, okay. It's from Shelly. Just if you want to text her, say, I'm live, but I'll get your order going. Just go, 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 getting it done. It's kind of fun. They're prickly. If you don't have a great small or medium round brush, what else could you use? You can use, if you had a fan brush, you could use that. You can use a stiff brush that maybe had paint dry on it, all things. So I call this the first coat because you're not going to be satisfied with the first coat. It's like if we had to shave a dog. If we shaved a dog, that would be, you know, like the first coat. And then the hair would be the second coat. So this is going to cover your black. Bet you're going to come back later and do more. Boy, that doggy.
She is fired up tonight. Was it a full moon?
I gave her a walk this morning.
Holy monkeys. I even gave her a chew toy.
Did you? I think she ate it.
She swallowed it whole and said, what else you got?
So I want to point out down here where the black canvas or paper is showing, you want to like start below it and come up. You want to cover that line. That's a line we don't want. It's nobody has a business looking at that line. That's our line. It's like our underwear line right there. Okay, sorry. Nobody has any business looking at that line. We're going to cover it up good. I'm going to go a little darker in front of the pumpkin. Boom. And you're totally going to come back later and do more. I'm going to clean my paintbrush out. Clean out the paintbrush. So I'm looking on the replay and I'm seeing, well, does it look a little flat here? You know, like meaning it's like instead of seeing highlights and lowlights, I'm just seeing one hue or one color. And so what I'll do on that second coat is really get it going. Really get it good. Okay, so I'm moving on. I'm going to go ahead. Have you decided, do you want the glitter? If you want the glitter, you can mix it with me. What color am I going to pick? I just have a little jar have some clear glue. You don't need very much. And you're going to need some water. Why? Otherwise, it's just really thick. I just have some water. I'm just going to thin it down. Let me pick out some glitter. I think I'll go silver. Silver or white. The white kind of makes it look holographic, which is great. Good God, is it like not even... Might be purple glitter tonight, folks. Here we go. Got the silver. Okay. So I'm going to do this first before I put my stem in. You can go ahead and walk her a little bit. Yeah. Walk her. I think she's ready to, oh, she's probably found the cat. The cat's probably ready to eat. We had a stray cat show up, and we're not necessarily cat people, John.
Really, right there, huh?
Yep.
You know how many 8 letters I'm gonna get now from nobody texts until you say that.
Okay. It's beautiful. It's not drippy, but it's thick. Okay, it'll drip in a second. So all I'm going to do is just, you're just going to put that wherever you want. It shouldn't be thick. It shouldn't be like 20 tablespoons of, I'm only doing it on the black. It shouldn't be 20 tablespoons of glitter. Probably use less than, just go right up to the moon. Probably use less than 1/8 of a teaspoon. But with the solution of the clear glue, you can bring glitter, the love of glitter, back into your life. Most people don't like how it flies away and or gets on their skin. This totally takes that aversion away. And it makes it look super pretty. Can you guys see that? It really helps with the night sky. Just gonna go ahead and do my other side. Now, the one thing with the glue, number one, yay, it'll be shinier, but number two, it does extend drying time a little bit, so you might have to blow dry in order to get our stems and leaves on, but I am just using my round paintbrush. You'll know if you didn't use enough water because you'll be like, glitter glob, glitter glob. And you'll know if you use too much because if you hold your painting up, it just, you know, the glitter just falls down. There you go. You can let it dry, see if you want more later. Even if you put your stem on, the loop-de-loo of the stem, you can still add more of that good stuff. All right, so this is just probably from Michaels. It is not named or labeled, sorry. Extra fine glitter. It's extra fine glitter, guys. It's super fun. We use a lot of it. I wonder if you guys can see how much I have in this crate right there. I take it to my ladies' paint nights, business functions, and it's loved by everybody. Well, not everybody, everybody. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't do my loop-de-loo and work on my flower real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and take my really small paintbrush. Let me check the time real quick. We're doing great. And white. Sometimes the details we really slow down. Very little white. And I'm going to go into my leaves. Do like a little fun swish into my petals. Do a little curved line. Check out the center of my flower. Maybe it needs a little bit more love. Waiting for the outside to dry. You can always hit the blow dryer if you need to. Get my paper towel back. Did everyone get their me in order to win? So if you're just watching, if you write me, you have an opportunity to win our Big Wood Pumpkin art kit. We send it to you. Gonna need your address. You don't put it on here, we'll message you, okay? Or you can message me. All right, so I'm gonna take my chalk. I'm gonna do my whoop-de-woo. That's what I call my little roller coaster ride. right here. And I'm gonna end up on my pumpkin where I'm gonna draw myself a leaf. A leaf is very similar to the rabbit ear of the sunflower. You can draw 2 or 3, that's fine. And then I'm just gonna draw a whoop-de-woo that comes around. So I'm gonna just come around. Hello. And I'm looking at my picture. Just gonna come in here. Just do as much as you want. Your kids are gonna, it's gonna look like a hairy pumpkin, but they're gonna have the time of their lives doing this. So anytime you're like, do a whole bunch of stuff that makes you happy. So I'm just coming around, putting a couple things here and there. My glue's a little wet still, but it's okay. Ta-da! I have one that's off. Well, maybe I should wipe it off. It's just chalk, guys. Whoop. It's just chalk. You can wipe it off. Go gentle. You don't want to press hard because that paint is not cured. It's not finished yet. Finished drying, finished doing its thing. So you just want to go really light. All right, and so we're gonna pick our small paintbrush. That's the size of tiny, one you love. And we're gonna mix white and green, maybe yellow together if you want. I didn't overmix, and I'm gonna just start painting. I'm just gonna commit myself to doing the whole line. Why? Because you want to not have stops and starts. I'm gonna come back here and go like that, okay. You can always come back and repaint it, but you wanna commit. So you wanna do the whole whoop-de-woo, so go ahead and make some more. Yellow, green, maybe some white if you want. You could argue that that's too white. And you're gonna do the whole line. You may have to add some water. Right there, it's not very noticeable, but I committed. I'm gonna go back and fix it. If you feel like you need to add a little bit more love or grab a different green, go ahead and do that. Or make some green. If you got some blue, make some green. I've got to tell you the formula for green, the formula for all paints has gotten really relaxed since COVID. I can't say that I get 2 bottles in and that they're consistently the same quality or even color. So the vines that are out on the black, they need to have a little white in them. They have to be contrasty or else you can't really see them. But the vines on the pumpkin don't have to have any white at all if you don't want them to. I like to put a little in. And I have to add some water. So the real trick is to add a smidge of water and then clean up like we talked about already. So it's really hard to draw a good vine or branch if you're scrubbing, if you're like going over it 100 times. So make sure you dip into the water, take it to your paint, make it fluid, then clean your paintbrush off, then go into your painting. Now I am not going to try to paint the leaves with my small paintbrush, guys. I'm going to use my bigger paintbrush. So I'm going to go back to my medium round paintbrush. We are through 3 walls and she is outside. We have to be really careful. 3 nights ago, the neighbor let his dog out for just a minute. He was very old, very, very old. I mean, it was just a minute. This dog's never out there. Gone. Lots of coyotes that are very bold. And then you're just going to treat the leaves a lot like you did the leaves inside the sunflower, okay? Losing it. What am I saying? Okay, so obviously I need more gold. I'm sorry, white, green, gold if you wanted. And you can give the leaves a base coat and come back and give them a little bit more love. Hey Lou, how you doing? I just saw your name pop up on something else. Oh, I think it was that teepee thing. I was like, Lou seems like a fun person to just hang out with. Aw, thanks Lou, I hope you do it. So I'm gonna let my leaves dry and then give it another coat if I wanted to. And you're just gonna tinker around until you and nobody but you is happy with your work. Why? Because we create for ourselves, not for other people. I have a little extra paint in my paintbrush, so a couple more little streaks would make me happy. Since that's dry, or that is drying, we're gonna go down to our grass, add our next layer, because right now, this is just if we shave the dog, right? If you're just joining, we'd love it if you did this for us. Sprinkle the love so we could spread the word about what we do. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ever since I hit like 10,000 likes, I keep getting all those catfishing comments from all the pretty people, pretty guys out there. It's funny. Hello, beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Going back to my grass color, I am giving it another coat. So I have this really thin coat behind the next layer of grass. It just makes it look really full. And so you don't have to go over each strand that you went before. You're just going to kind of keep filling in the gaps. So eventually you won't be able to see the black. Remember, kind of lighter on the sides, darker in front of the pumpkin. I need some more burnt sienna, guys. No getting around it. So burnt sienna is just a reddish brown. You might have something that's a little darker. That's fine. I might actually add a little black to mine. That one's supposed to be brown chocolate, but it's not really a brown chocolate I would ever eat. So it's just all this texture makes the grasses. Make sure you can see more than one color or more than one value, meaning there's more than like white or black in there on all your grasses. And you may have to do this step a third time. It's okay. I actually did. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me do it a third time. You have cocktail hour to get to. Just grabbing, they're still kind of drunken grasses. They're just kind of bending. Which way are they bending? They're bending every way. More brown on the bottom than at the top. All the way across. You see how it's all coming together. All these simple layers come together to make this fun seasonal painting you'd be proud to hang on your wall. If you feel like you wanted a little bit more practice, do it again. Hey, would you put everyone, we're getting close to being done.
I got it.
You put everyone's name.
Everybody
So if
said
you
me.
are just joining, Lou, you need to do this. Lou, write me real quick.
Lou, write me.
Yeah, write me, Lou. We're giving away our Thankful Pumpkin Kit. You're not getting this one. You're going to have to do some work too. We'll draw the pumpkin for you. We'll send you some loose directions, but it's really kind of your own thing. It's 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, so kind of chunky. We call this one Big Bertha. So if you want to be in the drawing to get the Thankful Pumpkin paint kit, just write me. We're going to do the drawing here in just a second. Do. Okay, so you're going to keep going on your grasses tonight. even after I'm long gone.
Right, me. Good enough. We'll take it.
Yeah, okay. I told you I want to hang out with Lou someday. It's like reverse stalker. Instead of you stalking me, I'm stalking you, Lou. And not to mention, we call our dog Lou because her name's Tallulah. Okay, so the leaves need a little bit more love on the pumpkin because they're really obnoxiously bright. So you're just going to play around till you're happy. And your happiness is going to be different than my happiness.
I can't spell her name.
L-O-U.
I got it.
Okay.
Your work is so beautiful, Lou. That's very sweet.
Oh, you are very sweet. She's just trying to grease the palms.
She really likes Big Bertha.
Yeah, Big Bertha. Okay, that's so funny. Okay. So our last thing that we would do together is to put some highlights in or low lights in the leaves. So let me get a little. So on the side that the leaf is not facing the moon, I added a little black to green. That one's a little dark. But see, I'm not stressing or crying about it because it's just paint. And then on the other side, let me wipe that off.
I'm a little stressed.
Don't be stressed. You're just hungry. That's not stress. On the other side, I have a lighter version. Maybe it has a little bit more yellow. Maybe it has a little bit more white. Just a little bit. So you kind of have, it's kind of like a Reese's cup. You have two sides. You have the chocolate side, you have the peanut butter side. But this one is just, John's like, nope, I'm done. This one is just paint.
Is that like the left side and the right side of the Twix?
Yep. No, I just don't get that one. Okay, when you're done, you're going to take a tiny little bit of white and put a little highlight. She is still barking. I heard you out there roughing her up.
Hazel Bittertail.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. The last thing I did was I flipped my paintbrush upside down, and this leaf that I have going off, I dipped in white, and I put 1, 2, dipping again, 3, 4, 5, cinco little dots. That's what I did. Pretty simple.
That looks lovely.
So remember, you guys have homework though. You're going to give another layer of grass there. I'm probably going to make pizza because I don't smell it. Let's see who won. Okay, let me take my glasses off. Ready? I'm going to come up. Sorry, we got the laser out of the box today. So I look not as presentable.
I think you just have to hit spin in the middle.
Spin in the middle. Okay,
Well, show
we have
everybody that
everybody's
their names
name. Well, we got everybody's names on here.
That said they wanted.
That said me to win. Lou's like, feed me to win the Big Bertha Thankful Pumpkin art kit. Ta-da! Remember, you're gonna have to let me know where you live. Don't do it here in the public forum. Ready? We're spinning. We're spinning. Drum roll. Da, 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 da. Who's gonna win?
I put a long.
You actually have to wait a few seconds after to make sure it doesn't move at all. Patty Colby! Patty. Patty, you won. So excited.
Patty.
Okay, Patty, or if you're Patty or not Patty, I'm gonna need your address. Probably won't go out Monday. Monday's an easy day for me, but Tuesday for sure. So give me the email.
Is it
or
private
not.
message? I'm not smart enough.
Yeah, it's
Private message?
PM. Yeah, PM me your your address. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for painting with me. We'll paint again soon, like next. Oh, she's still watching! Yay, Patty. What state do you live in? That's all we want to know right now. What state do you live in? Let's see if she'll let us know. You had to say your name.
You have to say me.
You had to say me. Esperanza, you betcha. Aw, that's so sweet. Aw, Lou's great too. She's congratulating. Oh, she's in Covington. Awesome. So I could always, well, no, I'll just put it in the mail. I was going to say I'm there for ladies' night coming up, but that's 2 weeks away. So definitely I'll get it in the mail. Thanks so much for painting. I think so much. I can't read that one. Oh, you didn't hear that. I'm so sorry you missed out. Thanks for Mr. John for working behind the scenes. I'm going to try not to drink my paint water here.
Rough night, huh? Unboxing that laser.
Yeah, I look rough. I look a little rough. If you're new to Cleopatra Art Studios, we're a little bit more put together than this. But yeah, that was a busy day. Okay, guys, thanks so much for everything. And we'll paint again real soon. Bye, guys.